5 things you must never tell anyone after 60. David Thompson, 68, from California. 2 homes, solid savings, financially secure. He informed everyone. His acquaintance, Michael, introduced him to Patricia, 60. Gentle, compassionate. She relocated in. Then came the investment proposition. Coastal property. Triple your investment in 6 months. David mortgaged everything. $400,000. Vanished. Patricia. Vanished. Michael. Vanished. The property was documented under an unknown person's name. At 70, David currently works part-time at a hardware store. His daughter won't communicate with him. 1 error. He revealed the wrong information to 5 people. According to the FBI, older adults over 60 forfeit over $3.4 billion yearly to fraud, and it invariably begins identically, disclosing the wrong details with the wrong individuals. Today, I'm exposing 5 things you must never reveal to anyone after 60. Not acquaintances, not recent connections, sometimes not even relatives. Press that like button, subscribe, and at the conclusion, comment 1 word, absorbed. Let's commence. Secret number 1, your doubts about relationships. This one astonishes most individuals, but it destroys more connections than anything else. Have you ever questioned someone, do you dislike me? Or did I do something incorrect? Or do you not have faith in me? Here's what's genuinely occurring. You're nervous. You detect something is wrong and you desire confirmation. But the instant you inquire, you make it actual. Consider it. If someone inquires, do you dislike me? Even if they didn't dislike them previously, they begin questioning the connection. Why are they inquiring? What's wrong with them? Do I genuinely appreciate them? Psychologists identify this as pursuing negative validation. You're so nervous about the connection that you compel the other individual to confirm your anxieties. And here's the most damaging aspect. Sometimes you're not even pursuing validation. You're pursuing a resolution. You're so uncomfortable with the uncertainty that you'd prefer conclude the connection than exist with uncertainty. Helen, 71, had a close companion for 10 years. But Helen was uncertain. Every few months, she'd inquire, "Are you upset at me? Did I trouble you?" Initially, her companion reassured her. But after years of this, her companion became drained. The companionship concluded, not because anything was incorrect, but because Helen continued searching for complications. Here's the deeper psychology. Why do we do this? Sometimes it's a fundamental belief established in childhood. Individuals will abandon me. Individuals will dismiss me. And when you believe that profoundly enough, you unconsciously generate situations that demonstrate it accurate. You distance individuals by continuously inquiring if they're departing. It becomes a self-fulfilling prediction. After paragraph. Other occasions, it's a peculiar form of authority. Existing with uncertainty is agonizing, so you compel a crisis. Either inform me, you cherish me, or inform me, you despise me. Just provide me certainty. But connections don't function that way. Healthy connections have uncertainty. Some occasions, you're closer. Some occasions, you're distant. That's standard. Here's the principle. If you're concerned about a connection, don't inquire if they despise you. Instead, invest more positively. Be more compassionate. Be more present. Appear. If the connection is salvageable, your positive behaviors will preserve it. If it's not, no amount of inquiring will repair it. And if you're genuinely being mistreated, depart. Don't pursue validation from someone who's damaging you. Just depart. Here's what you can do alternatively. If something seems wrong, express this. I've been sensing a little separated from you recently. I miss our connection. Can we devote more time together? That's not pursuing negative validation. That's pursuing positive connection. Substantial difference. Secret number 2, your financial details. Now, we arrive at the one David discovered too late. When you discuss wealth, you're not disclosing information. You're creating a target on yourself. But here's the deeper psychology. Why do individuals discuss wealth in the initial place? There are 2 categories of individuals. The initial category is naturally cautious. They preserve secrets easily, not because they're virtuous, but because they were created that way. They're secured containers. The second category is spontaneous. Whatever's in their mind emerges from their mouth. Positive thoughts, they disclose them and receive acclaim. Negative feelings, they disclose that too. They can't prevent it. It's how they're constructed. If you're the second category, you need to discipline yourself, because every occasion you mention your savings, your homes, your retirement funds, fraudsters are listening. David was the second category. He enjoyed conversing, and Michael listened. For 5 years, Michael listened and documented how much David possessed, where it was located, what he controlled, when the opportunity was appropriate. Michael executed. Barbara, 72, from Georgia, committed the identical error. She mentioned at her reading group that she'd obtained a substantial insurance settlement after her spouse passed. A recent companion heard. 2 months afterward, that companion persuaded Barbara to invest in a fraudulent enterprise. $200,000 vanished. Here's what most individuals don't comprehend. Fraudsters aren't just unknown persons online. Sometimes they're individuals you recognize, neighbors, congregation companions, even family members. They hear you mention your nest egg. They observe you control your residence. They understand you have equity, and they anticipate patiently, establishing trust for months, for years, until the perfect instant. Then arrives the proposition. An investment, a loan, a crisis. I require assistance. And because you've been discussing your wealth, they understand precisely how much to request. Gerald, 71, from Nevada, had a neighbor for 8 years. They were close. The neighbor possessed a key to Gerald's residence for emergencies. One day, Gerald went to the medical facility for surgery. While he was recuperating, his neighbor emptied his safe. $80,000 in currency vanished. The neighbor relocated to another state before Gerald returned home. Here's the principle. Never disclose financial details to anyone except your attorney, accountant, or financial consultant. Not amounts, not locations, not assets. If someone inquires, and they will, smile and express, "I'm comfortable." That's it. But here's the more challenging reality. Sometimes you desire to boast. You labored diligently. You accumulated for years. You desire recognition. So, here's what you do. Alternatively, discuss your effort, not your outcome. Express, "I labored diligently my entire existence, and satisfied with what I constructed." Don't express, "I possess 2 homes and $500,000 in savings." One demonstrates character. The other demonstrates a target. And here's the final reality about wealth. Even virtuous individuals become tempted. Someone you trust might be in a financial crisis. They understand you possess wealth. Suddenly, they commence rationalizing. "He possesses so much. He won't miss a little. I'll reimburse him." Before you realize it, they've betrayed you. Not because they're malicious, but because you created yourself too tempting a target. Remember, individuals who need to understand already understand. Individuals who don't need to understand are the danger. Secret number 3, your loneliness. Patricia targeted David because Michael informed her one thing: he's isolated. Loneliness is a weapon fraudsters utilize. Reports indicate that 35% of individuals over 60 experience loneliness. And fraudsters hunt for isolated individuals like predators hunt for separated prey. But here's the psychology most individuals miss. Why do we expose our loneliness? Because exposing vulnerability is how we construct intimacy. When you inform someone, "I'm isolated," you're genuinely expressing, "I trust you. I'm demonstrating you, my authentic self." And that functions with the appropriate individuals, with secure individuals, with individuals who've earned that trust over years. But with recent individuals, with acquaintances, with someone you encountered 3 months ago, that vulnerability becomes a weapon. Raymond, 67, from Michigan, encountered a woman online. They conversed daily for 3 months. She expressed she cherished him. She expressed she desired to visit but required funds for transportation. Then her mother became ill. Then her vehicle malfunctioned. Raymond transmitted her $50,000 over 6 months. She wasn't authentic. Here's what Raymond informed me afterward. "I simply desired someone to care. I didn't contemplate she'd utilize that against me." Here's the reality. Your loneliness is authentic. Your need for connection is authentic. But broadcasting it to recent individuals is threatening. Pursue connection through verified groups, senior centers, congregations, relatives. But with recent connections, particularly romantic ones, accept your time, months, years. Verify who they are. And here's the most challenging aspect. Sometimes you need to inquire yourself, am I disclosing my loneliness because I desire connection or because I desire sympathy? Sympathy seems positive temporarily, but it contains disdain. Individuals who provide you sympathy are simultaneously contemplating, "I'm grateful I'm not them." Connection, on the other hand, is mutual. I sensed that way too. Let's not be isolated together. Understand the difference. Disclose with individuals who offer connection. Shield yourself from individuals who offer sympathy. And never ever inform a recent romantic interest how isolated you've been. They'll either exploit it or sense burdened by it. Neither constructs a healthy connection. Instead, demonstrate that you possess a complete existence, hobbies, companions, activities. Then invite them to join your existence. That's attractive. Desperation is not. Secret number 4, gossip about others. Let me inform you something a psychologist once expressed. Disclosing someone's secret is like releasing a contagion. The instant it departs your mouth, you forfeit all authority. You contemplate you're informing one individual, but that individual informs another and another, and eventually it circles back to the source, and they understand you initiated it. Gerald, 69, from Nevada, discovered this the difficult way. He informed a companion that another companion in their group was experiencing financial complications. Just casual mention. "Paul's struggling. I sense concern for him." That companion informed another companion. Gerald expressed, "Paul's impoverished." That companion informed Paul, "Did you understand Gerald's informing everyone you're impoverished?" Paul confronted Gerald. The companionship concluded. The entire companion group fractured, all because Gerald contemplated he was just disclosing concern. Here's the psychology. Why do we gossip? Sometimes it's bonding. We contemplate, if I disclose secrets with you, we'll sense closer. And sometimes it functions. Briefly, you and your companions sense united against a common target. But here's the complication. If you gossip about others to someone, that individual currently understands you're a gossiper. They're contemplating, if she converses about others to me, she converses about me to others. You forfeited their trust. And here's something deeper. Gossip exposes more about you than about the individual you're gossiping about. If you continuously criticize others, individuals contemplate, she's critical. She probably criticizes me too. If you continuously indicate others' imperfections, individuals contemplate. He's judgmental. He's probably judging me immediately. Here's the principle. If you wouldn't express it directly to the individual's face, don't express it behind their presence. And here's the more challenging reality. Sometimes individuals need correction. Sometimes you observe someone committing an error and you desire to assist. Do it directly with compassion, not through gossip. Express, I recognize something and I care about you, so I desired to mention it. Not, did you hear what she accomplished? Can you believe it? One is care, the other is gossip. Secret number 5, bragging disguised as sharing. This is the one individuals despise most, and the one individuals do most. Let me inform you the difference between pride and bragging. Pride is about your effort. I labored diligently my entire existence. I'm satisfied with what I constructed. Bragging is about your outcome. I possess 2 residences. My children are physicians. I'm established for existence. Pride acknowledges fortune. I labored diligently, but I also received fortunate. Bragging ignores fortune. I'm accomplished because I'm superior than you. Here's what occurs when you boast. Individuals smile and nod, but internally, they're contemplating, why are you informing me this? To create me sense inadequate? To demonstrate you're superior? And they're accurate. Most bragging isn't about disclosing satisfaction. It's about pursuing validation. Dorothy, 73, from Florida, enjoyed conversing about her son, Yale graduate physician. 6 figures, perfect grandchildren. Beautiful spouse, perfect grandchildren. She'd introduce it up at every gathering. My son just purchased a recent residence. Did I mention he's a physician? Her companions ceased inviting her. Not because her son wasn't impressive, but because Dorothy utilized her son's accomplishment to elevate herself above others. Here's the psychology. When you boast, you're attempting to complete a void. You don't sense secure in your own value, so you borrow value from external accomplishments. But here's the reality. Secure individuals don't boast. They don't need to. Their value originates from within. Here's what creates bragging particularly agonizing for others. The identical words can be bragging or genuine disclosing, depending on context. If you've been through hardship together, expressing, my son obtained into medical school, seems like celebration. Your companion understands the struggle. They celebrate with you. But if you're casual acquaintances, the identical sentence seems like bragging. They don't understand your struggle. They only observe the outcome, and it creates them compare it to their own children. So if you've accomplished something, celebrate it privately with your spouse, with your closest companion who genuinely celebrates with you, but don't broadcast it to casual acquaintances, because to them, it's not celebration, it's competition. And here's the final reality. Even individuals who've recognized you for years can sense competitive, particularly if they're struggling and you're succeeding. The safest principle, disclose your satisfaction with individuals who disclose your context. Your spouse understands your struggles. Your closest companion understands your journey. They can celebrate genuinely. But casual acquaintances, they only observe the outcome, and it creates them sense inadequate. The right way. Let me inform you about someone who understood it correctly. Elizabeth Morgan, 70, from Pennsylvania. Widow, comfortable retirement, controls her residence. Elizabeth preserves her private existence private. When individuals inquire about finances, she expresses, I'm comfortable. When recent companions become inquisitive, she alters the subject. When someone offered to introduce her to a romantic associate, she accepted 6 months to verify who he was. Elizabeth has never been defrauded. No conflicts with her children over wealth. No damaged companionships over gossip. She exists peacefully. Why? Because she comprehends something David didn't. Privacy isn't discourteous, it's protection. Your action plan. Here's your action plan. Rule 1. Don't pursue negative validation. If concerned about a connection, invest positively or walk away. Rule 2. Never disclose financial details except with licensed professionals. Rule 3. Don't broadcast loneliness. Pursue connection carefully. Rule 4. Don't gossip. If you wouldn't express it to their face, don't express it at all. Rule 5. Disclose effort, not outcomes. Pride is internal. Bragging is external. These 5 principles protect your wealth, your connections, and your tranquility. If this assisted, press like and subscribe. Comment one word. Absorbed. Thank you for watching. Stay secure. Stay private. Remember, silence isn't secrecy. It's wisdom.